the gentleman for
the gentleman is
yielding.
recognized for 2 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, at the onset, let me say I share the desire to apply additional spending cuts to this continuing resolution. However, even though this measure cuts more federal spending than any other bill in the history of our nation, I recognize that the President and the Senate will not support additional reductions. This is unfortunate because, like many of us in this House, I recognize that our nation has compiled a public debt of $14 trillion and an annual budget deficit. Our annual budget deficit will total $1.5 trillion into the foreseeable future, an unsustainable amount. Simply put, we're broke, and this bill is but a first step towards putting us in a much more sound fiscal path. The 2012 appropriations package lies ahead, and we need to take another additional step to cut spending and do it in a rational way to promote jobs and economic growth. The energy and water portion of this legislation totals $31.75 billion, a 10% cut from the President's budget request. Our approach was simple. Every program in our jurisdiction was scrutinized for savings while protecting national security and providing appropriate support for job growth and a balanced energy supply. Overall funding for the National Nuclear Security Administration is $696 million, a 7% increase from fiscal year 2010, the only significant increase in this section. This funding will assure that our nuclear weapons remain reliable and our programs to stop the spread of fissile materials overseas stay strong. There is no more important mandate for the Department of Energy. Funding for the Army Corps of Engineers is $4.9 billion, $48 million below the fiscal year 2011 request. Program dollars were concentrated where they should be, into the operations and maintenance accounts and construction accounts to ensure that the Corps has sufficient funding for its key missions. Mr. Speaker, these cuts are only the beginning. We need to do more, and I support the measure. And I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.